We'll go to properties. We'll select, and yeah, now I think I'm audible. I wasn't audible all this time. That's insane. At least I noticed right now that I was. Yeah, whatever. Now I think I'm audible. That's great. Let's get started. So the first thing what we'll do is we'll start. Hey, hey, no sound. I think now you can hear me, I guess. Yeah. So the first thing what we'll do is we'll go to the desktop and we'll create a new project. We'll say yarn. So we'll be using yarn for this particular project. So we'll say yarn create Vite. This will create a new project and we'll call it website builder. I know I'm doing this for the second time, so all of you guys who are already watched the previous, the approach will be quite similar, but we'll try to do it like in a better way. I mean, some better way. Yeah. So React and TypeScript with SWC. Let's go to website builder and let's quickly install all the dependencies which we have. So we'll be installing all the dependencies and let's see, how are you guys doing? How is life? How are you? How is everything? Just let me know. Okay, if you guys have any questions in between, that how am I doing something and what is the approach I'm taking, feel free to ask questions. Okay, questions are amazing. You can ask all of them if you wish, right? So what we're using for this particular build is we'll be using Vite, which is a very awesome tool for creating React application. Also, you can create any other kind like Svelte application, any of those things. And we'll be using TypeScript for this project as well. So TypeScript, why TypeScript? Because I want all of you guys to practice TypeScript. That's all. Nothing very serious. And this is a project which I am trying, experimenting, and all those things. So you'll see me doing mistakes. So I think, and that's completely okay. That's how real development happens. So yeah, that's how it is. Also, I'll try to let's actually have a prettier configuration. I'll try to code in a new editor. So we'll not try to use this. We'll try to use Z. We'll see how much time we can actually use Z for. So we don't want this. So let's say open, and let's open this project. So desktop, we'll say website builder. There you go. I don't know how much for how long will it be possible to use Z, but we'll try to as much as we can. Okay, so the first thing what we'll do is we'll install a dependency. We'll say yarn add prettier, right, as a development dependency, because we want to use it as a development dependency. And great, now I think that's pretty much it. We can even have a pretty like a normal configuration if that is kind of required. So we can say prettier rc.json, I guess. Yeah, and we can take the basic prettier configuration from the prettier website. So prettier whatever, like let's write prettier, and we can go for we can say config, I guess. That's kind of good. Am I audible now? Can you guys hear me? Just let me know, right? Let me say yes if you guys could hear me. Say no if you couldn't. Right, there you go. That's the prettier configuration we'll be using, and this will be so internally how so this browser, this editor which I'm using is called Zed, and it's available for right now. I think it's only available for Mac OS. Not sure. You guys could check it out. I don't know. Let's see. Zed editor. That's the editor I'm using currently. So I don't know. It's I think available only for Mac, but not sure. I think it might be available for Windows. Just check it out. Okay, I'm not sure, but let's try this out. Let's see how this feels like. Right, great. So we have this, uh, and great. I'm audible. Okay. So now this is my configuration. If anybody is curious, this is what I'm using as a Z configuration. Great. Let's get started. The first thing what we'll do is we'll install a few things. But before installing few things, let's go and write tailwind css white, right? So some people say it wheat, some people say it white. I absolutely don't know. I'm joining your stream after long. Yes, bro. I am streaming after a long time. I wasn't very healthy. I was having stomach pain for some reason. I went to doctor and the doctor said you are not eating. You are not eating for very long hours. So I wasn't eating for like almost. I was having the first meal in the evening. So that's the problem. That was what it was happening. But now I am pretty good, right? Okay, so we need all these three things as a development dependency. So what we'll do is we'll add this as a development dependency pretty quickly, and we'll run this particular command, which is okay. This is this is wrong. So we need to remove one of the add. Okay. And the next thing what we have to do is we have to run this particular command, which will add two files, which is postconfig.css and tailwindconfig.css, which is kind of great. So now in the tailwindconfig.css, right? So in the tailwindconfig.css, we have this. So now what we have to do is we have to replace the content with I think let's have this over here, right? So we can replace the content with I guess with this content thing, right? Right. So we can just paste this over here. We can get rid of this, right? So we have the content. The creator of wheat says it is wheat, white wheat. I don't know. It's it's funny, right? Nobody knows the pronunciation of wheat. How should we pronounce it? Um, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so we have to do a lot of coding today, so we'll try to stay focused, right? Okay, so the next thing what we'll do is we will be, no, am I audible? Yeah. So the next thing what we'll do is we'll go to the we'll run this project. So we'll say yarn, by the way, this editor is made in Rust. It should be a lot faster than VS Code, I suppose, right? And let me move myself somewhere over here. That's better, way better. Yeah. So let's first, the first thing what we'll do is we will be let's remove all the default stuff. I just don't want the default stuff, but I think we forgot to include this in our index.css file, although it is not required, but let's do it. Index.css file will keep few things. So like we want the font thing to be there, but we'll remove all rest of them. Let's keep the font as it is, and we can get rid of almost all other stuff, right? Great. There you go. So we have the stuff over here. Great. So that means our site should look like this, which is pretty weird because it's looking not so good because we have removed all the styles. That's kind of okay. Don't worry about the styles, bro. What we are targeting is a website builder, right? So let's get rid of the app dot whatever app dot css we had, and I'm sorry. So yeah, I don't know. There's like a lot of code which we don't require out of this. So we don't require this, we don't require this, and we don't require this. And we can even say div. This is the most annoying part of this entire editor, which is it does not support emmet, right? This is my editor. It's quite new, so I'm pretty sure I'll be facing few issues, but uh pretty, yeah, I don't want to do this. It should be, what was it before? Dot slash node module slash pretty. Yeah, that's kind of better. I guess now it will work. So if I save, yeah, this is working now. My pretty configuration is working. Great. So this is okay. So I had to configure my what do you say? Formatter. Okay. Great. So the next thing what we'll do is let's quickly set up a lot of like a few of the things. So can I open one more terminal? How to open one more terminal? So I click plus. It's here. That's kind of cool. I can say yarn add the stand. That will be our. Should we do it like this? I don't know. Should we do it like this? Should we do it like this? We can. I mean, we cannot. I don't know. Let's use reducer. I think that will be even better. Let's not use a stand. So the first thing what we'll do is we'll create a component. So we'll create a new folder. We'll create a components, and the component which we are going to create is called editor component. So we'll create another folder inside this, which is editor. That's all we'll be working inside this. So we'll say index.tsx, right? And the first thing what we'll do is we'll say editor, which is of type react.fc is, I think, Gotham, this project is not big enough for Redux. And also I don't like Redux. Both, the thing is there. That's the reason I don't want to use it. So this is my editor. Great. So we have the editor component ready. The first thing what we'll do is we'll render this over here. So I mean, great. So we have the editor component there. the first thing what we'll do is we will be coding a little bit of the UI. So let's quickly do that. So here in the editor, we'll have a few of the building blocks of the editor. So let's build the editor layout first. So I was very intrigued by Webflow's UI, so I really liked it actually, and we'll try to create the Webflows like a very similar UI to regular like Webflow. I really like something like Webflow, like you have all these sides, so like toolbar and like that. So that was really fascinating to me. Also, we'll be using what was I using? What was the icon library I was using? It was really good. I don't remember it. Let me. So I was creating this other project, which is this delivery app, whatever. And I was using some like so I was using some icon library which I app don't so it's called Lucid React. I really like this icon library. So first let's quit this whatever. Oh, why did I quit why did I do that? I have to quit the VS Code, right? I quit the wrong thing. I have to open Z again. Let's open Z. I think it automatically will open the previous stuff. And what about this? Oh, it's not running. So we'll say yarn dev again. Okay. Okay. So it doesn't save the zoom level. That's one thing. I observed. So we have the Webflow, right? So we'll try to create something like this. So let's try to create this kind of UI, right? Pretty yeah. So but before that, let's add the Lucid icon library. So we'll say Lucid React. Yeah. So we want to add this to our project. So we'll say yarn add a Lucid React. There you go. We added that as well. All of you guys who are here, welcome to the stream. Hi, how are you guys doing? And what are the projects you guys are currently working on? Tell me that. Okay, so we have an editor and we have this. So the first thing what we'll do is we'll code the upper whatever that was, like the upper thing, right? So hmm. So let's first do one thing. Let's say class width full height screen, because we want to keep it as screen, right? And then the first div will be creating, so div, and like just to I don't know, the flex call, right? And the first thing what we'll do is we'll create a div, right? This is the thing which I hate about this editor. It doesn't auto complete stuff. So the width is full, the height, I don't know. So let's keep a background color of like some black or something like that, a very dark gray, something like 950 would also work. That's the color we're using for the background. That too much? I think that's black, but too much black. That's better, right? And now we can try the border stuff which was there, which is kind of cool. So we'll say uh toolkit, I don't know. I mean, let's go and import few icons from Lucid React, right? And then we can say toolkit or something like pen tool, whatever. Let's use anything as an icon right now. Uh, pen tool, right there you go. That's what we are using as an icon, and you can barely see that, I know, because that's very small right now. So we can say size, and we can increase it to like 34 or something like that. And we can even mention the color of this. So we can say color white. Is the background noise too much visible? I mean, I don't know. You guys must be knowing today is Saraswati Puja, so there's a lot of noise. Uh, yeah. I'll probably stay quiet because I think there's a lot of noise. You guys could watch me coding. That's kind of okay. Yeah. So that's what we'll be doing. The next thing is, uh, so I think this is too much. So we'll say 23 or something like that. That's 28. 30 will be kind of good. Yeah, good. So we can say some, like we have some padding. So yeah, kind of good. And then we can set a BG to something like some other gray, might be like 950 would be good. Yeah, you can see that border right on the top. Cool. And we can say flex gap 3 4 or something like that. And then we can say span, right? Right. And then we can say like whatever, what website builder. I should have named this a little bit better, I guess. Yeah. So we have website builder, and in on the top only, let's say text is white. Text is white, right? There you go. So we can make this a little bit. So we can go over here and we can say this is div, right? So we can go over here and we can say class text Excel, which is a little bit bigger, and then we can say tech font bold, right? Right. So this is font bold. Great. So that's website builder. Now we'll be making the sidebar where all our tools will be there, right? So let's construct that. So for constructing that, we'll again create a div, right? Uh, Class name will say flex grow, and then what we can say is we can again say this is flex because that's what we want, and then we can have some. This doesn't work, bro. This, if I do this, nothing happens. There's no emit. I hate that. There should have been emit support for this. It's insane. What is this? This is giving me some UI. I like the sidebar. Sidebar, no doubt, that's good. But I don't like this is cool. I guess this is okay. So we have a canvas and then we have these things. Why do we have these round stuff? I don't know. Uh, I just, I just don't like this auto completion. Whatever this is. Empty for image button. I don't want to have uh the elements like that, right? I like the heading, but it will have like it will have like core elements. I think we can write some data, like we can write some config. So no, we don't want to do that. We'll say we can say config.ts export const components is equal to, let's make an array of this. So the first component ID, let's call it like whatever, uh, core one. You can name this anything. So the element which it will be is div. Uh, so let's call it like, let's specify whatever we need so far. So first is the name, which will be a box, right? And then it will also have an icon, which will be box. I don't know, something like box, pen box, pen box. No, I hate pen box. Can we have box something like file box, box rectangle, rectangle horizontal? That makes more sense. And I should get rid of this, whatever this is. I mean, yeah, great. So now we have a rectangle. We could have another component. We'll call it core 2, right? And then we can name this, I don't know, text, right? And we could have icon, which is like, I don't know. Is there something available like text encoder, decoder, text track, something like that? We have text quote. This is from Lucid. File text. I don't know. File text would look cool. Let's try to render these so that we can visualize more of the stuff. So in the index dot whatever we have over here, we'll try to go to this core elements, right? And this is what we have. Okay. So now we can say components, I guess, and then we can map through this, and then we'll get a single component. And then what we'll do is we can say, I hate this. We can take a div, right? And it's really angry at me. I don't know why. So if I say key comp dot id, will it be happy at me? Yeah. So still not happy with me. What happened? Don't know. I think there will be one more this. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So now what we can do is we can show all those like boxes, right? And we can say that the parent is like a kind of like a grid, right? So we can wrap all the components inside a div, right? uh I think we could even do a better job, like okay, so we should not even do like something like this. So we can, I don't know, there should be categories, right? So it should be category wise. It should be category wise. So uh uh yeah, so there should be category, and inside those categories there should be components. But let's now right now go simple. Let's have it like, you can definitely expand on that. Let's create something simple first, and then we'll try to create it complex, something like that. Wait, what do you mean, huh? This is okay. uh so we have core components. What do we want? We want a grid, right? And then we want a grid, and grid template, like, I don't know, call template. How do you do that? I have completely forgotten grid. We'll say control K and we'll say grid template rows is called grid rows and grid columns. So we want, what do we want? Grid, we want 2 columns. That's what we want. And yeah, and let's now go to the components and let's map to that, and let's say component, like that. And then let's try to return something interesting. What are we even doing? We don't wanna right? So yeah, so let's call it class name. Let's call it like some, let's give it some padding. And first let's start with the icon, I guess. So yeah, how would it look? I'm not sure. Oh, that's kind of good. That's not perfect, of course, but we'll make it good, right? So the theme of the entire project will be like this black and extremely blue theme. Is my voice too much is like there's too much distortion in my voice? Can you guys listen to a lot of background noise in my voice? Just say yes or no if you could. Uh, yeah. Okay. So now, after this, what we can do is we can just center things out. So we have, I don't know, why is it grid, bro? Why are you even BGP? I don't think so. This is even required. So you have this, and then okay, we can give some gap to this, like free gap or something like that. And then if you hover over something, right? So if you hover over something, so let's give a border as well. So border too. It's fine. I'm sorry, bro. I cannot control my environment. There's a lot of loudspeakers going on for some reason. And that also I don't understand. Why do you have to play loud songs? I mean, okay, play it. I don't care. Do whatever. Uh, right? I don't know where you guys are from, but where I am from, in usually a lot of these celebrations, they kind of like play very loud music and very weird songs for some reason. I don't understand why do they do it. I mean, like, come on, you don't do that, bro. Right? It's been going on from the entire day. My head is paining, bro. Like, it's so loud, and it's just beside my house, right? So yeah. So okay, so we have this, but whatever, like we have this border kind of thing going on. So we can just place this over here, I guess. Which one was this? Yeah, this too much less. I think this shouldn't be how it should be. I mean, width shouldn't be 1 by 4, but I would say rather the width should be fixed, like 340 pixel or something like that. Ah, that's better, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and let's try to make things a little bit better. So we'll say flex, and we'll say flex call, and then we'll say item center and justify center. Cool. And now we can give a little bit of gap. Cool. And then this all these things should have a little bit better size. I mean, this is 50. It could be 50, right? Looking good. That's too much big, but we'll think about that later on. 40 will be, yeah, 40 is good. And then we can, this is text center. We will say text Excel. Yeah, good. I think that's looking good, right? You can, that's good. First of all, we don't want the text to be selectable. So we'll say text, like no select, something like that. Text select. How do you disable select? Uh, I select none, exactly, that's what we want. So it wouldn't allow to select any text or something like that. And we can even specify what kind of cursor we want, so we'll say cursor pointer. That's great. So yeah, kind of good. Okay, so the next thing what we can do is we can continue on this, and we can have other components. Like let's go to the config and let's try to add other components. So we can have this, so we can have picture like core 3, and then we can have as picture, and then icon, I don't know, photos, like picture. Do we have picture in something like that? Oh, this is in Lucid. Yeah, I don't know how does that looks like. That looks like interesting, right? That's not picture, right? Come on. Picture in picture, picture in picture. All I have is picture in picture. Do I have something related to image? Image data. Do we have Lucid picture of images? Oh, this is images. Cool. Great. We have a good thing. So now we have picture in picture, which we are not using, so we can get rid of that. Okay. We can have other core components as well, so we can show that. Great. Next thing what we can have is we can have an state called active component. I don't know. Should we do it like active component? And yeah. So we have ID core 1, core 2, core 3. You can add any ID which we wish. I don't know. Should we have anything else? So we have a text, and we can have a heading. So we can we can say yeah, button is cool. So first of all, it shouldn't be like that. Do we have a button, something like related to buttons? I don't know, gamepad button. I don't know, lucid button. uh it's Bluetooth icon. I don't know, I think rectangle would work. There was like a rectangle horizontal icon. I don't know, does that work? It's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing. uh how should the icon of a button should look like? I'll let it be. We can figure out the icon later on. Let's first go ahead. Okay, so we have four different kinds of component. We can have other kinds of component, but let's try to handle these first. So we'll have button. Even I don't want button, I want something like heading, right? So I can have like something like heading. I don't know, heading icon 1. Yeah, that's kind of cool. They see heading 1, and we can have heading 2 and heading 3 and all those things. uh, we might have, like, we could have merged this into a single thing, but let's keep it like this. Who cares? Yeah, so let's delete this like this. Over here, go over here, and and go to the core components. I don't know. Yeah, over here, and let's say margin top 2. There you go. And yeah, so also the border here, I don't know, do I want this kind of like border? Way better, right? Nobody wants that thick border, right? So we can say hover. On hover, the border should be blue, something like that. 200. I don't know, how does that look? That's, I want really dark blue, like something like 600 or something. That's more better, right? That's how we would like to have it. We could even modify the text color of this. So instead of this, we can give like a text color, because these are SVGs. So yeah, they will kind of work. So if I say text white, they would work. On hover, I want to have like text, let's say in blue. So blue 600. Uh, yeah. So I can do this. Really cool. Yeah. So this is cool, right? Okay. So the next thing what we can do is we can create some kind of canvas where you can drag and drop stuff, right? So let's now a little bit of think about how should we handle the component addition, how should we handle the overall working of this. So we can, I mean, we can we can create a components array, right? That could contain all of these things. But uh, yeah, try to create a components array which will handle all of these things. So this is kind of cool. We can use Zustand, or we can use user reducer. I don't know what should we use exactly. We can use any of these stuff. So yeah. So before that, what we have to do is we have to create this is the components, and this is the stuff which is like, this is the, yeah. So let's go below this, and let's do this, and then let's say this will be like width grow with full, not like width. So instead of having it as a flex, right, which we did, I think flex grow flex, let's have it as a grid. And let's say grid column, let's make it like 12 or something. And let's say this will have like a 3 or 4 columns. So we'll say column span 3, which is okay. And then we can give whatever, like 3 this side, 3 that side, which is 6. And out of 12, if 6 gone, it's like 6 left, right? That will be the canvas area. So this will be call span 6. And then and that's pretty much it. So we can say height again full, right? Okay. And we can give some bg, I don't know, will it work? Yeah, this works. That's the area we're targeting though. But we want to have it like, I want to have it like completely black, like black, something like that. bg black. Yeah, that's the area. I didn't like it, like gray or something like that. What's gray 700 works? That's cool. You can drag stuff over there. Gray 900, would that work? I'm just thinking. No, 900 is not cool. 800. 800 is cool, right? So 800 works for me. So the idea is, this is too big, bro. It should really depend on how much is the 5 days left for the board. Watching coding videos instead of science. Bro, I was coding on, like, before my maths exam on boards. Like, literally, I was coding like a music player before my board exam. That's okay. I'm like, do it only if you're prepared, or you think you're prepared, something like that. Okay, if you do it, play it safely. That's what I'm saying in short. Let's drink some water. Let's do a water break. We'll take up any questions. There are any. Yeah. So we made some good progress in 30 minutes. I think if you, so let's continue. So yeah, the next thing what we'll do is we'll go over here, and we'll say this would be like an iframe, and you guys must be very very confused that why the hell am I using iframe. uh the reason is, I think this works like this. Test, like, will it work? Not sure. Will it work? uh uh so we'll say render html on iframe. Can I do that? There was some way, I think it was source or something. So it says src doc, that's what we want. I think this would work now. Yeah, you can see test over there, right? Also, that is having black text, so that's kind of okay. We'll give it like class name, and we'll say bg white. Yeah, that's the default background you have. Also, we'll say width full, and we'll say height full. So this is the place where we will be building our website. Also, if you guys are thinking like the previous time we were rendering the component out, the problem is we cannot do this time. We'll have that doesn't work, right? So if you'll be rendering the component, that is something you cannot extract out. That's the problem. There's still other problems. I i was just curious, can we render html? Oh my god, this music is insane. I even be able to stream today? I don't know. Oh, you guys cannot hear the music? I'm really surprised. It's so loud. No music, no background stuff. Really? Nothing is there in the background. You can't hear anything. You guys cannot hear anything. Nothing. Now it is less. Okay, I guess now we can continue. Okay, but I'm still thinking this solution doesn't fully work. This solution doesn't fully work. Oh my god, that's a long uh like ht tailwind class name, whatever. I wish I can break this out. Like, can I break this out? Like, that's too much. Oh, forget it. Okay, so hmm, how can we do it? So iframe is there. The problem is how are we even going to control the elements inside the iframe? Can we get the document of the iframe? How to get the document of the iframe? If we could do that, then it would be iframe. Oh, so okay, that makes sense. So we can say query selector and then content window. That's the iframes content window. That would be quite like that would be required a lot because so if we just go over here and let's try to use HTML5 native is draggable, uh draggable, right? So this is first of all draggable. All of these things could be dragged. Great. So when you drag any of these stuff, what I want is I want something to happen. So we'll say on drag. So we'll try to handle this in a custom way. We'll not use anything. So uh let's call it drag element id, set drag the element id. Let's call it, right, so it's a use state, and then we can say by default it will be null. So it could be two things, either it could be a null or it could be a string. So if it is null, that means nothing is dragged, so nothing is actually dragging. So on drag start, I think that's how it is. We can set that like that. Okay, on drag end, right, we can set it back to null. So that means it's null now. Okay, so yeah, that's so I can verify that this is working by going over here and basically saying I don't know, I can say I can show you the drag element id. So it will basically show me the element which is being dragged. You can see this is the first one and it's empty, and then the second one, and then the third one, fourth one. Great. So we can actually know which is the one which is being dragged. Okay, so the next thing what we want to do is we want to give it the id of that particular whatever so we'll say comp dot id. We'll give that id. That will be the key as well. So we'll say key is comp dot id. So both. So we have the key and the id both. Great. Now what we have to do is we have to track the location of this throughout the screen. So should we do it like this, or should we create our own custom hook? I think we should create our own custom hook. So let's say new folder, and we'll say hooks, and we'll say use drag, something like that. Should we do it to tsx? I think ts is enough, no tsx required over here. So we'll say const use drag, which is a custom hook which is not returning anything. So this will return few things. So what do we want to return? So we can say const this. So we can say export const use drag. Yeah, that makes sense. So now what do we want? We want, let's first a little bit discuss like what do we actually want. So we want a way to store which element is being dragged, right? And then next thing is store the position of which element being dragged. That's also what we want to do. And then what we want to do, store the position of cursor. Is that something which what we need? I'm not sure. I don't think so. We don't need that. So it's okay. So first of all, what we need is we need yeah, I think so when we are dragging, the position of the cursor is the position where we are dragging, right? So you can say cons is dragging, set is dragging, right? Use state. We can do it like with the same component ID. I think comp ID will do the thing. That comp ID, it is use state, and then we can give this, and then we can we can return two things. One is the properties, and one is the that one. We can return all of them in a single thing. We don't. So we want a comp ID, and we want a set comp ID, whatever. So we just don't have these. I mean, we have other stuff as well. Right. So we have this, and then we'll have cursor location, or we can say drag location. That's both the same. Drag loc, and then we say set drag loc, and then you can say use state. Uh, it will be 0 0 initially. So yeah, and then it's because we are not using it. Okay, that makes sense. So whenever the component mounts, what we want to do is use effect, right? So we want to say whenever the component mounts, we can say, yeah, that's what we want to do. So whenever the component mounts, whenever the mouse moves, we want to set the drag location to that, and yeah, so it is doing that, and then it is removing the listener whenever we kind of like remove the component. So whenever we unmount the component, and then we can return this drag loc as well, which is the xy of like this. Yeah, that's great. We have a custom hook which can store the location as well as which stuff is being dragged. So instead of this, what we can say is we can say const a lot of stuff is equal to use drag, right? And then what we can say is we can drag element ID, and I don't know, this is not how we do it. We have drag drag ID. I don't know, how do you do that? Drag, so it's component ID. It should be drag component ID, set component ID, and then drag. So let's have these two things right now. Instead of set whatever this is, we'll set component ID. That's stupid name, bro. It should be drag component ID first of all. It is not just the component ID. I mean, what is the component? And then it will be set drag comp ID. And now this is angry at me because the name has been changed. So set drag comp ID, and then set drag comp ID. Great. The next thing what we can do is we can use this now. So instead of whatever use state we were using, We can use these things like drag component ID and then set drag component. This makes hell lot of like sense, right? I mean, component ID wasn't making sense. So we'll say set drag component ID, and then we can say set drag component ID. So which is null now, which is great. So yeah. Okay. So the next thing what we'll do is we'll say drag component ID. Okay, we are not using this. Kind of okay. We'll bring this whenever we need this. Okay. So the next thing what we can do is we can just say this will be only like we want to say this, do this, right? Or like whatever. Uh it's okay. So yeah, it's okay. We can keep adding this. I mean, yeah. So the next thing what we want to do is we want to create a place where we can store all the stuff. But before that, what we want to do is we want to create a way for the user to drag and drop stuff to this, right? We want to like a user to drag and drop. So while dragging, if it is, there will be a lot of things, bro. There will be a lot of things over here. So if it will receive kind of stuff. I don't know how should we receive a function and then uh so on drop, right? So let's check whether where it is being dropped, and then we can take actions on this. So right now let's add everything to the root, and later on we can create this a little bit more advanced where we actually go inside the components, like inside the subcomponents, and then we can say okay, this is inside this subcomponent, so there this is the place where we should add it. So we can increase the complexity a little bit. Hello CR7, it's hello, what's up, how are you? Big, hello bhaiya, big, what big? Day 74 of making startups until I become rich. You want me to do that kind of series? Day 75 of making. Bro, if you are creating a startup, you wouldn't stream, right? You want the full focus. It is not something you want to you want to show it off, but once it is ready, right? It depends, bro. Once I was also thinking like let's code something like startup, like online and all. It doesn't happen that way, right? The thing is, when you're coding online, uh, I don't know. I feel this sounds very absurd. All because I'm right now streaming and coding. I feel when you're when you're coding along, right, you feel more free because, uh, yeah, you don't have to worry about someone is watching you, right? So that's an interesting. You're more free and you can do it more easily, and also you wouldn't have time to talk and do all those stuff. You're starting up. I saw a guy, by the way. I remember there was a channel. He's like doing something which is, but as a programmer, I don't find it very comfortable coding like a entire startup sort of thing online, like days in and days out. If I'll do it like personally. Yeah, you understand, right? It's hard to explain why. You'll understand it if you'll actually go and code something like that. Because yeah, because in streams, right, you cannot do like you can go and you can go and uh, do something else and come back, and you have to be actively engaged in order to. Yeah, exactly. That's the guy, right? How many of you watched the new OpenAI stuff which is going on? Yeah, this guy. Let's check his LinkedIn. Surprising, I haven't checked his LinkedIn so yet. Uh, he seemed to be a smart guy. I mean, Swift 5 Essentials training. He has done some Swifts. I've seen his Swift coding stuff. So he was coding Swift and all. That was interesting. Swift mobile development. I'll have to open this with my we are losing focus, bro. We're losing focus. Let's focus back. Let's yeah, let's focus back. We are coding. So the first thing what we have to do is we have to think on how are we going to store the state. Sora, exactly. Sora is kind of really cool, bro. So Sora OpenAI. I watched Sora, and it is like I'm excited. I'm very very excited for this. Also, this makes me a little bit uncomfortable because the things which you can do with this is insane. Is insane, bro. It's insane. So this is really good. So this is a really good video. I mean, if you see, this is like completely AI generated. If you would notice few things, right? The frame rate of the shadows, right? It's little less than actual frame rate of the video. So just look at it, right? So it is. I'll give you a proof, right? Started watching you. Oh, thanks. Welcome to the team, bro. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the club. Yeah. Okay. So this is cool, right? I mean, this doesn't like this is unbelievable. It has one more video. This is insane. This is. I mean, if you will not tell me, right, that it is computer generated, I wouldn't be able to tell that. So I mean, this AI generated. I wouldn't be able to tell that it is AI generated. Can I get a job without DSA as a fresher? 100%, bro. 100%. You can get a job without DSA. Uh, uh, yeah. All that matters is skill. DSA also matters. The DSA itself is a skill, but DSA is not the only skill which is required in software development. So this is also insane. This is good. A few things, he's walking a little weird, and yeah, there are few weird things in the motion, but still, like it looks hyper realistic. Sora is gonna cool. We'll do some video on this stuff someday for sure. This is cool. It looks like it's not real. Yeah, exactly. Because it's the first version, bro. Imagine GPT-1 or something like that was not very good. Imagine second or the third version of this. That would be like, and when you like the first version is so good, that will be like it will be very very hard to tell that it's made by AI or something. I was reading this and I was very very curious about like how are they gonna manage the security. So I read this section. It's really good. So they're gonna. I'll tell you how are they planning actually. So they're gonna hire some of the experts in the on the all this misinformation and whatever like misuse of all these stuff. They're gonna hire and they're gonna tell them that okay, misuse this, and and let's try to find the solution. And yeah, so it would try to do that. That would be cool. But I think even it would sign every particular video which is generated by OpenAI's this tool, and you would be able to actually verify that is this video real or is this video made by some AI tool. So that's interesting. You did know something about AI or machine learning. Yes, bro. I have coded a few stuff with AI, but what like there's a little bit difference on my approach to AI as compared to other people. So uh, uh with like AI, my approach is basically I go to the basics, right? I don't want to live on this uh framework stuff. I mean, generally what you see is you have a lot of frameworks like these whatever like TensorFlow and all those things, and you never realize what you're actually doing. But every computer I set for interview is asking DSA even for the role I applied front end dev. That's surprising. I think a simple DSA is something which is kind of okay, right? I mean, like a simple stuff. I don't think so. They would be asking very complex DSA for you, like for a front end dev role or back end dev role. And one more question: are these companies in your college? Is it like a campus interview stuff? If yes, then yes, the colleges, like all the placement which you get from colleges, ask you DSA. But if you're doing off campus, they don't. At least they didn't ask me. Hello, Nikhil. What's up? How are you? How are you doing? How's life? So a lot of like I think I someone was asking me when are you coming online? Why the hell are you not coming online? Bro, my health was not good, so I wasn't able to make it. Um, so yeah, the health was main reason. We'll create some video on OpenAI Sora stuff if it is available to use. Right now, it is not. It's just this page is on. Can you explain more about framework? Why can't use direct language? Okay. So you mean AI, right? Why can't we use frameworks in AI and stuff? I'm completely like use frameworks. Okay. I don't discourage that. That's good. That makes your life easier. But initially when you are learning, it prevents you from learning the core things, right? Uh, so are you okay now? Yes, I am pretty fine. I'll say not 100% recovered, but I'm okay. So AI. So this what do you say? Uh, if you'll go for using directly the frameworks, the problem is you will miss out a lot of basics, right? Like the core things which is there, how actually neural networks, what are the weights and biases actually doing, how does it impact the next layer, how one layer impacts the next layer, and so on. That's going to be more difficult. Okay, let's move on. Let's continue with our website builder stuff which we were doing. Yeah, so we have this, and now we have to think a way to store the to store basically the what do you say, to store the state, store this stuff. Great. So phew, this is kind of weird. Not only in tech but all stuff like React Express. Exactly, bro. Even you know at its core, right? How React works. I'll explain. Right. At its core, React. What is React? It's very simple. It's document dot create element. I'm just telling you, like on a very very high, on a very very low level, if you see what is React, it's creating a bunch of documents, and it is maintaining a virtual DOM, which we gonna do right now. Surprisingly, it is just creating, and this virtual DOM sounds very fancy and all shit. Virtual DOM is nothing fancy. It's very simple, right? It's just a hierarchical. I can never pronounce that word wrong. I mean, I can never pronounce this word right. I don't know. Hierarch, how do you pronounce this, whatever, that branch tree structure of all the components, it stores it in a data structure, and that is what the DOM is. So, and then it recursively iterates and create this you know document dot create element. And when you make any changes to the state, right, all these states which you create, use state, it kind of refreshes that particular use component. So it is just this at its core, like the React is what it is, like this is what React is, if you understand it at its core. Funny stuff. How did I know, what experiments did I do? So what you can do is you can compile React code, right? I'll just show you, right? So if I just compile whatever I currently have, so if I just say yarn build, right, on this, uh, I would like you to see the output. It's very interesting. You can see this is the output, right? Okay, this is the compiled output of whatever this React is. I don't know this will even work or not. My so this is the compiled output, and this will have a lot. So this has all the code which is there. So this is a very huge code, but what I would say is compile a very small piece of code, right? A very small code, and then see what is the output. It is exactly document.create element, and it tries to manage the state. It's very similar. So yeah, that's what React is at its core. So okay, so now no, we had enough talk. Let's continue the development. So we have the website builder, we have the core element, and we want to have this drag and drop stuff. So we have this use drag. So now what we want to do is whenever we experience a drop, right? Drop, we want to check that the element is we want to check that the element is why we need to install again and again React. I can't how it works backstage. Why we need to install again and again. I didn't get your question, bro. What do you mean by again and again? I mean, where do you install again and again React? Okay, so if you guys are a little bit interested on how actually React works, I would say just go to Babel online compiler, right? So if I go to Babel compiler, something like that, I would tell you how React is working. See, this is very interesting. So if I write const a is equal to div, right, and if I do something like this, right, in JavaScript, what it is actually doing is uh, uh, this is stupid. Why it is doing that? Why it is importing React? Why would it do that? I don't want this. Can I have an older version of React? Module React. It was document.create element before. It's not showing right now. But technically, internally, it creates the element and modifies this. It maintains a virtual DOM and modifies like that. Okay, let's continue on the website building stuff. I think. Okay, so we want this to be dropped. How are we gonna handle? First of all, whenever this is dropped, so we can say we can say on drop on no on drop. And then we can say we can actually take the element's position on drop, and we can say how does it go. Let's see how does it go. So we don't want to do we want to do e dot client x. Yeah, and then e dot client y thing. Have a mail. Neon. I don't know. Whatever. There's some stupid mail. Forget it. So when we drop this, we should get some kind of. It is giving some each child in the list should have a unique key prop. We do have a unique key prop, right? I mean, uh, why drop is not like on drop is not triggered on. So on drag exit, is it how it is? Uh, uh, we say log. Uh, yeah, I believe this is how you do it. Not sure. I think so. This is how you do it. If I drag and drop on, what is the event? It's like on drag over, I guess. Something is being logged. Something is being. I don't know which one is being logged. I can see some of them. So this is the on drag over. I'm just trying to learn how this is working. So we have this one as on drag on drop. Right. So this is on draw. So let's refresh this. On drag over. Why is it drag over, bro? What do you mean? Oh, so it's like whenever you're. Oh, it stops after some time. What do you mean? On drag over. When is it? When is it? Okay, these are different elements. Drag over. In addition to the properties listed below, when is it? The event is can. Okay, drag over is fired when an element of the text selection is being dragged over a valid drop. Oh, that's stupid. It's text selection. What do you mean? There's no text selection. What event is fired when something is dropped in HTML5? Drop event. Let's see. We have drop, which is like on drop, and we have on drag in, and then we have on drop. I don't see on drop event anywhere. I mean, what do you mean? I mean, is it something like we have a drop zone or something like that? Drop on drop capture. This is interesting. Okay, and then we have an e, and then we can say log. I mean console.log drop capture. Interesting. So we can take this, and we don't see anything. We don't see anything. We don't see on drop capture on this. Uh, mm, 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 mm. Drag and drop HTML5. Let's see. Can we drag this over here? Drag the interesting. Okay, how does it work? So you say allowed prevent default. Okay, so it says div on drop. It's a drop event and data transfer set data text. Okay. Then you have id div one whatever this is. So it's a draggable true. This is cool, but how is it? Try it now. Let's try to understand this, how this is, and then we can try to print this. So I can, okay, there's an image, and you say on drag start drag event whatever. So drag event, you say set drag transfer data, you set some drag transfer data, and then an on drop. Oh, so you have a thing called on drop, and then this should work technically. uh Even if we have, okay, so event dot target dot append child document dot. So if we just where was I? Yeah, so if we just close this, and if we just do this, why don't we get a drop, bro? Why don't we get a drop? I don't get it. This why don't we get a drop? On drop we have an event, right? So it was, we can set some data, that is completely understandable. I mean, this makes sense. We can definitely set some data. So we can say uh, on drag, right? I mean, thing like on drop. So we have on drag over. We don't want this one. We don't want this one as well. So on drag, and we can say uh what should we do? This is so dumb. So let's try to play with this a little bit, and let's see what happens. We have say draggable true. We have say on drop over allow drop ev dot prevent default. What is allowed? This is, we'll say on on drag over, I think. On drag over, something like that. What am I doing? I don't know. I can say on drag over, right? And then we have whatever, like we have an event, and then we can say e dot prevent default. Great. And then we have this on drop event, and then we can do anything on this. So we can definitely set some data over here. So instead of only what was that? What was that? What when you call? Okay, this is drop event. Then which one do you call, bro? If both of them have same. Ah, I don't see. I don't see anything working. Can I refresh this? Let's practice drag and drop a little bit, right? So what it is doing is it is allow drop. Okay. Uh, so if we just can we reset this? Can we rerun this? Whatever. Yeah, so it is like that. So we can drag this. So this is technically draggable. So what I can say is this is whatever. Uh, console.log ev dragging whatever, like dragging, right? And then yeah, it's saying dragging whenever like the drag started, it says dragging. So okay, so this is being called whenever the drag is being started. There's a drag event whenever the drag is started. Makes sense. And then we say on drop, we pass the same event to this. So are they supposed to have the same event? Is that the question? So drop event, let's say console.log on drop. This is dragging and on drop. So both of them have the same function, which is weird. Can we declare two functions with the same name? I don't think so. That's not even a valid JavaScript function test. And if I just say again whatever, like if I say function test, I cannot do that. I guess I should not be able to do that. Whatever. Am I able to do that now? Yeah. So whatever. Like if I let's say call test, then which of the test will be called? Yeah. I mean, I can't do that. I'm pretty sure. Why is it declaring it two times? Let's go back and let's try to again understand this. This is stupid. Can I get some better? So we have these events. So first is there's a drag event. So is dragging element or text selection is dragged. Okay. And then drag end, a drag operation end, such as releasing the mouse button or hitting the escape key, which is drag end. And then drag enter, a drag item entered an item. So I can do drag end is the thing which I want. Hey man, why are you speaking English? You also know, if you are practicing then okay, otherwise speak in what you supposed to. Where would I cannot read what have you written, bro? Hey man, why are you speaking English? Supposed to in India. Why am I supposed to, what am I supposed to speak in India? I can speak absolutely anything what I wish. I'll speak anything what I wish, bro. If I want to speak English, I can speak English. If I want to speak Hindi, I can speak Hindi. And I think most of my viewers can understand me. So thank you for the suggestion. The user starts dragging an item. Starting a drag operation. That makes sense. Okay. It's saying the basics. So in the basics, what it did is drag handler start. So, right. So whoever is watching, everybody can understand me, right? Let's. It doesn't. Okay. So what? According to this, if you see, a drag end is when the drag ends. Like that is the place. That is when this is kind of like triggered. So we'll say we can get the the location on the end. So we can say this, and then we can say log console.log e.target.clientx and e.client y, whatever. So we have client x, client y. So whenever we are dropping, I guess we will see the event now. So Yeah, there you go. That's what we want. Yes, that's what we want. So we'll just check whether it is in the range. So it is in, if it is in the drop zone of this. So how can we trigger that? That's also an option. I want to trigger this on the drop. On drop, it says drop captured. I don't see any drop captured. So I mean, I can artificially create, of course. Uh, let's now, right, for now, right, let's uh let like let's think about this a little bit later on. Let's first build the state. Let's use the stand, bro. The stand is kind of cool. uh do we need the stand? I don't know, that's just overcomplicating. Yeah, let's say components, and set components, right? uh okay, and then we can say use state, and it will be empty by default. It I'm not having use state, so we'll just import this from whatever, like and then what we can, next thing what we can do is we can, it's just not happy with me. What happened? uh Components is oh, so we have already components declared there. And then we can say what you can say, dom state. That's not a good name, but we'll take care of it later on. So we have the dom state, which kind of manages the state with which we'll be rendering this. We'll convert this into HTML in a while, but let's first handle the addition. But before that, what we'll do is we'll go before this and then we'll say JSON dot stringify dom state, so that we can at least see what is there, what is going on. So right now we have empty dom state, we can see, right? So whenever you click on any one of these, so on click, right, whenever you click on any of these, what we want is, we want no prevent default, we want yeah, that's what we want to do. So we don't want, like, yeah, if you click this, you can see, right, it's adding new elements over there. You guys cannot see. Should I increase the font size? I guess I should. Div uh uh class name, I can say text XL, which is text sorry, yeah. Why, why did I do that? Yeah, there you go. So that's a little bit big text, so that you guys could see what is going on. So we are adding this constantly, right? And we have to add a definition of what do you mean even by box and all these things. First thing first, first of all, it wouldn't be of the structure, so whatever, like this kind of structure, right? So what we can do is we can say dom state element, I don't know, should we create it over here? Let's create it. Dom state element uh so element, and then we can say uh yeah, it is kind of like that, and props is any, completely makes sense. Okay, so this could be uh so this could be actually an array of dom state element. And yeah, and then what we can say is props is like not nothing, so it's like that. And then we say style, not something like that, should be like this. A is a string and the value is of type any. Right, so style is there, and then there will be attributes, so we'll say attr. Yeah, I don't want this, I mean, I want attr attributes, exactly. So there will be that you can, for any dom element, you could have like various props, and we could have various attributes over there. And the next thing what we can do is we can just go and we'll try to convert this into some actual HTML. So we'll write that function. So see, this is like, I'm just making this as a starting place. Definitely we can make this way better as we go ahead. So I'm putting everything in one file. Later on we would definitely break this down into several components. So we'll say function function so first of all, let's not do something like this. I mean, this will be like whatever. So this is not even as simple as doing this. This is way much more complex. So we'll have to write several utility function which will help us. Either we can write it over here, or we should let's create in dom.ts, which will help us to handle all these things. And let's have this type over there as well. I mean, dom.ts, right? So this is a file. So we'll have all the functions which mutate the dom over here. So all the dom mutations will be over here. So we'll say export const add to dom, right? Add to dom state, whatever. And this is not what we want, right? This is not what we want. So export add to dom, right? And then it will give the components. So which will be an array of dom element state, right? And then you give parent id. So you give a parent id, and then what we do is we try to add this to the parent. So this will be a recursive function. It is already giving me a function, so let's have a look. So we get document.get element by id, that id, and then document for each component. We don't want to do this. This is stupid. We don't want to do this. By DOM, I mean this virtual component list. So that's what we want to do. So we let's call it VDOM instead of DOM, because this is a virtual DOM, not the real DOM. So the parent ID which you see over here will be a string. So what we want to do is we want to say, yeah, that's what we want to do. Interesting. So if the parent, it's very simple. If components, you can find, like, if there is any element, uh yeah, Arvind is with me. I mean, it's weird. I mean, if you're in India, you're not supposed to speak in Hindi, right? Of course, I know Hindi very well. I would love to talk in it. There's no there's no uh, there's no shame in speaking Hindi. I have talked in Hindi a lot of times in this channel as well. But the thing is, someone is forcing that speak Hindi only is stupid. It's nothing but stupid, right? Yeah. So yeah, I think this makes sense for all of you, right? If it finds an element with that particular id, it says, oh, so if it doesn't find the element, so it says simply return, or we can even throw an error, so it, like, there's nothing. If it does, then it parent dot child dot push. Wait, hold on, what do you mean by parent? What is parent? So that parent dot child dot push, this is stupid. This doesn't work, because the problem is this is not doing recursively, right? We'll have a recursive, this algorithm is wrong. The OpenAI chat GPT is making us stupid. It doesn't work like that. I thought first, like, initially, like, my initial reaction was the chat GPT wrote a good function, but it does not. So what we want to do is we want the first, like, uh so we want to check if, like, the first line was absolutely correct, which was actually checking this. So first of all, let's get an index of element, which is components dot find index, which is having this. And then we can say if idx dot element is equal to -1, which is like it cannot find the element, then we say add to vdom, we add to vdom, add whatever, like, recursively call this function, which is a const over here, right? Recursively call this function with the same components and parent id. But this will be this will be not this. This will be wait, hold on, for each of those components, right? So if it cannot find any other, so go to like, loop over the components. So components dot length, and then I plus plus, right? And then we can take the index. What do you mean by index, bro? This is not what I want to do. I want to add to vdom, yeah, parent id. So it will go into its parent, and it will go into its parent, and so on. And if it could find, right, it will add it to that and return the components, I guess. No, bro, consistency कहाँ गई? मुझे तो लग आप Bro, I think everybody knows my health was not good, Arpin. So I was having this stomach issue where I wasn't eating regularly like for very long hours. So I was eating in the evening, and that kind of messed up with my health. So my health was not good. My stomach was paining. I took a little bit rest. Bro, consistency hai, don't worry. Uh, Second bath, uh, I don't want to dump a lot of content. Like I just if I don't feel like, I don't want to stream just to maintain the consistency. I would like it should make sense, right? I mean, sometimes you don't have ideas. Sometimes even you don't have you don't feel like you could actually you're not like programming is not in general you cannot code every time, right? Like with the same mind state. And that too streaming is a different ball game. Hello Bodin Bad. So my health was not good, in short. That's the answer. uh okay, so we did this, which is kind of cool. So it goes to that, it keeps doing it. Okay, so can we return this? That's the question. If I just say return, no, this is okay. We do this, and then what we do, uh we we say else, which is so if it could find the, yeah, that's what we want to do. But hold on, what are you doing? So it says score 1. It's just giving me some stupid shit, right? I don't want this. So if it could find that parent, and in the children we want to push, but we want to push what? That's also an option. So it's giving me the parent ID, and I also want the element, right? So it should be the whatever DOM state element. uh 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 uh, 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 DOM state element. There you go. That's the element. And now what we can do is we can I think pass the element over here. Mm, hmm. Okay. So now we don't want to push this in this. So we want to say we want to push the element which is being passed. Yeah. Guys, please yeah, chat mein please maintain a little bit, you know, uh, let's calm down a little bit, right? And to all of you guys, if anyone crosses the limit, I'll start blocking them. So please, 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 I request, let's maintain the, yeah, let's respect each other, right? Everybody has different views. It's kind of completely okay. But please please don't say absurd things which does not belong or which does not relate to the stream. Please don't do that. Yeah. Okay. So add to edom. No, not, I'm not telling to you, Urban. uh I think whoever I'm telling to got the point, right? So don't do that. Okay, but just let's make things a little bit. We are coding, right? So let's focus on that, right? Ask questions if you don't understood something. This algorithm, this is a recursive algorithm. This tree algorithm is not. So we are doing a DFS over here, depth first search. Ask questions from this, bro. Don't go in that route. Uh, so we have a IDX yearly, and then we have children, and then we are pushing the component, and then then we want to return the component. but I don't want to return the component. I want to create a closure which would, yeah, if creating a closure would definitely help, I think so. So if I just say, if I create a components like for example, if I say let whatever comp is equal to components, uh right, uh and then if I just say const whatever test, right, and then if I pass this right over here, and then this is pretty weird. So if I copy all of these things from here, right, and then paste this over here, and then we have this comp, right, or like whatever. So hmm, no, that was kind of good way. Yeah, why is it not going back, bro? Yeah, whatever we were doing was kind of, let's test this stuff. Let's test this stuff. If it doesn't work, we'll try to, we'll try to use something else. So add to vdom. If you go over here and if we say on click, what do we want to do? We're gonna say const temp is equal to document. uh, your you hold on, uh documents was that dom state, right? We create a dom state copy, and then what do we want to do? We want to say the same algorithm. What was that? Add to vdom. Are we exporting this? Yes, add to vdom. And then if we pass temp element, right? So what is the element we want to say? So we want to have like an empty child with some id. Let's call it random, or like uid, I don't know, something, right? And then uh props, it is style, and then we want to say width, something like this. And then uh why is it required right now? We have imported that, and the next thing what we'll do is we'll be basically, the problem is we have this attribute as required, so we don't want this attribute to be like, this could be completely optional, right? It is not required. Yeah, the next thing is we want to, this is kind of okay. And the last thing we need is a parent id. So if we just say parent root, right, if we say parent root, it will add it to root, and which we haven't handled. So let's try to do that. Or like it will have a default root element. Yeah, that will be kind of cool. Let's have a default root element. So yeah, it will have a default root element. So id will be kind of like root, and that there will be no children, and the props will be, I don't know, I don't want any styles to be there. I want it to be completely empty. And then we have set dom state. So what we can say is I can go over here and I can set this temp as set dom state. uh this will be temp. Okay, I would mean, why is this over here? Cannot find set dom. Oh, you can find that. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, we have this. Let's see, does it work, or or it doesn't? So we have at least like 1 0 element, right? And okay, so if we just click this one, we have something. It definitely works. It works. It works. It works. uh so yeah, it works. I guess it works. So it has to, yeah, it works. It 100% works. So I didn't get it. So you didn't get it. It's because, see, hold on. I'll explain things. Wait, I'll explain things. It's kind of tree. All of you guys who are watching, all 9 of you, uh, I think there are 9 people watching right now. So see, this is how it's working. So how we are storing all the component is like we are storing it as an array, right? So like this is like a root, right? This is the root. We have several children of this. Like let's say this is a div, this is a div, this is a div, and inside this we have an h1, whatever we have in span or something like that. So you have various elements, right? So we have a dom, which is a tree of elements, right? So what we do is every element has a parent id, right? Parent id. So what we do is we recursively go inside this particular thing as our DFS, which is depth first search, and we try to find the element with a certain parent ID. So let's say if I find this parent ID, I push the child inside this. So that this is uh, so that it is inside this. Uh, that's what we're gonna do. By default, we are adding it everything to the root for now, right? But later on, what we want to do is we want to able to, like, if this is our element, right, and if say like this is one section, right, and this is like some other section inside that, we want to able to drag things over here. So what we'll do is we'll take this particular parent id, wherever it is dragged, it will take this particular parent id and the children will be added inside. That's how it is working, if that makes sense. That's why we are doing this in the first place, right? Okay. So yeah. Hi, bro. Hi, where passion meets. Hello, hello, hi, hi, coding era. What's up? How are you? I hope so. This makes sense. I mean, this const. This. Thanks for explaining this. Also, it doesn't relate to this session, but still. See, what you're asking is basically this. You're reassigning this. So actually, what you're doing, if I could break this down, because you wrote something somewhere. I did not wrote that anywhere in the code. I don't think so. Uh, no, I haven't written anything like that. But still I'll explain what that is. So like whatever you have, a is like this, right? And then that is pretty same as you redefining a. So like that's like const a is equal to this is equal to this. So you basically whatever, like const, spelling of const is wrong, but you got the point, right? You are basically redefining the same a. It's empty object, and then again you are defining it to empty object. Okay, so the next thing what we will do is we will continue we'll try to write an algorithm which will convert this into HTML. So we are literally writing a compiler right now. So all of you guys watch this very very carefully. So what we'll do is this particular thing. So in the dom.ts, what we'll do is we have an add to vdom, and then we'll have another function which will be convert to HTML. So this will convert everything to whatever we have to HTML, right? And then what we can do is we can give the component and we can give the HTML as well, which will be initially empty, right? So yeah, and then the first thing what we have to do is we have to insane, has it already did it actually wrote all the stuff? Yeah, it did, I guess. Yeah, it is correct. That's insane. OpenAI is doing insane thing, because so let's see, does it work? Convert to HTML. It already wrote the code. Cool. So I'll explain that code. Hold on. But first of all, let's try to run this. So what we'll say is, instead of source whatever this test whatever we are giving, what we can say is we can say convert to HTML, and we can pass the DOM state to this. I guess, which is not working. So we have root, uh, which is weird. First of all, how did it? Oh, this thing is not working. What it is saying is it is all of them as div. A part of this code is correct, and part of this code is incorrect. So this is correct. So here this is string, and then all of this has to have an element which is in strings, like which is kind like what is the element which we want, and this should be something like some or the other HTML element. So here this will be an issue, because the first thing what we want to do is whenever we are dragging this, we want to say element is element is like, for example, let's say this is div, right? Or like, let's say this is h1, right? So we want to add one h1 to the tree. Now this we'll have to modify the dom function. I don't know how it is doing, but I'm just curious. It's going through all the I think let's try to write this again. Can it give me a function to do this? I don't know. For convert props to html. Do I have to write another function for this? Const uh yeah, exactly. Bro, now you don't have to code. The code is done by, just see if this works. We'll see, otherwise we'll write our own algorithms. All of you guys who are thinking DSA is not required, see, this is where DSA is required. I don't know, can you just write the entire function for me instead of me typing one line at once, right? Can you do that? Convert props to html. Stupid. Let's write our own function. This doesn't even make sense. So what do we want to do? We want to basically start with, so hmm, I don't think so we do even require this. So we can say const html, or like let html is equal to something like this, and then yeah, that works for me. That works for me. Ringify. Stupid, stupid, stupid. It's just giving anything. So we want to go to all the elements, and for all the elements, what we want to do is we want to basically say, so we receive a list of elements, right? And that has a list of children, right? So we want to say html plus equal to, right? And then we want to say like it should be like this, and whatever the, yeah. So is it like this? I don't know. Is it like this? Yeah, I guess it is like this. So yeah, and then what we wanted to say is whatever is in the yeah, and then this is basically this. So for all the children, it will recursively go and generate the html, and then at the end, what we want to do, I don't know, return the html. Yeah, does our convert to html function works? If I just say this, will it work? No, it doesn't. I don't know what is it been generating. So instead of printing that entire thing, because that works, let's print the html which it is generating. So if this is working, then we can do a lot of things, truly. We can change the properties and all. So we say convert to html over here. So instead of this over here, let's try to give it over here. This will give us some html, I guess. What is happening over here? I don't know. Oh, we have done this in the wrong place. It is this over here. Yeah, so this will give us, so it's giving undefined, that's the issue. So we'll have to debug this a little bit, why it is giving us undefined. So it is actually using this element at I dot element, which it, wait, what do you mean? But we are adding element, right? Oh, at root there is no element. That's the problem, I guess. That's what I'm guessing actually. So yeah, this is the problem. So at root there is no element. So it should be a body by default. I mean, yeah. So yeah, there's a body. That makes sense. Okay. So now actually we can go and say this, which adds an h1 inside this, which doesn't look wrong, at least to me. I don't know why it is not rendering properly. So if I just give this like this, I think it all hmm. I don't know what is the content of that particular iframe is. Let's try to see. So we have an html. Inside the html we have a body with nothing, like with no styles. That's okay, but if I add this, right, it should have in whatever, but it's not. Oh, it does have. Okay, class bg html body style. Okay. Oh, this is stupid. Never write your algorithms with chat gpt, or you do, I don't know. It writes stupid algorithm, so we'll have to do it on our own. So we'll not trust chat gpt because it's just messing things up. But let me verify what's wrong. So if element at length and element at I dot element style is whatever this object dot keys of uh stuff, and then it maps to all those keys, and then it generates this stuff, and then join them with, oh, that's kind of correct. And then we do it for all the children's, and then we close the element, which is kind of correct. It doesn't look wrong, but why it is doing something like this? I think we are doing. Oh, I get the issue, I guess. No, I haven't got the issue. So it's generating wrong html, and we have to fix this. We already did this issue. We already solved this issue in the previous stream, but let's do it again. So what I see is this is going class, and then iframe. Oh, this has a bunch of class, and then this is html body, whatever this is. This is kind of correct. I don't know why it's not working. uh, okay, let's try to go over here. Let's try to render this in CodePen, and let's see what do we get. CodePen, I don't see any issues with the html at least. So if I just say start coding, and if I paste whatever I had. Oh, because we don't have any text. Okay, that makes sense. We have the oh, that completely makes sense, because we don't have any text, right? How will it appear? So it should have a content, right? So let's have another property inside the DOM. It's completely working. There's nothing wrong with this particular algorithm. The problem is with the like there's no content in this. The content will be string, and it's completely optional. Like you can have a content or not. In our case, so okay. So now in the DOM dot whatever ts, we have this particular function, right? So inside this function, what we want to do is we want to have that content, and then we want to say like yeah. So then we want to say we'll say components at I dot content, yeah, or empty. That completely makes sense. So technically now if I go over here, the index.ts, and if I go to this, where's that stupid function? This is over here. Okay, so now if I just give it some content, like for example, if I give like hello world, right? It should work, at least that's what I think. uh yeah, if I refresh this, if I click this, yes, we made it. We made our own compiler, guys. It's sort of compile. It's funny to say this is a compiler. This is not, probably compilers are more complex, but yeah, it converts stuff to uh, stuff to HTML. So this, whatever we add, will be converted to HTML. Great. So now this is very easy, right? So now what we need to do is we need to specify an element, and we just need to call this. So now what we'll do is we'll go to the config, and we'll specify an element for all of these things. So this will have an element, right? Element with this, which will be let's create a type for this. So this looks eliminator interesting. Yeah, that's WordPress stuff, right? Yeah, it is kind of similar. uh okay. What do we have? So we have this DOM stuff, right? So we have this DOM state element. We kind of like want that. So every time the ID should be unique. So we want to omit the ID, but we want to keep everything else. So I think that happens with this omit. No, we have this omit, right, in TypeScript. Yeah, but we don't want to omit children. We want to omit ID in this. And not like there's no and, which something like that, which I want. We can just import this stuff, I guess. Then why will omit not work? Wait, hold on. This doesn't make sense. This is just this editor going pretty. Omit only refers. Okay, so omit only. What do you mean? Omit only refers to a type, but is being used as a value. That completely makes sense. We are using it as a value, which is stupid. So We'll say interface component, right? And then we can say every component will have an ID, which is string, name, icon, element. Cool. So instead of this, we can go over here and we can say this is actually an array of component. And then over here, what we can say is this is like the element we want to add. So the first thing what we want to do is we want to say every element has an ID, I guess. Uh, Whatever. Like let's say some element ID, something like that. Oh, so we don't want the ID, right? So IDs are not required. By default, the children we want is empty, which is cool. And then we want, what element do we want? So by default, the box should be a div, right? By default, we can set some props. So we can say the style is kind of like, the width is, there's some width and there's some height and there's some background color. This is stupid. We shouldn't have a background color, but just to like make it appear, right? So that we are testing it, right? Let's have a background color, and we can do quite like the similar thing in others too. So we can say this, and I guess this can generate something like that. Mm, all these, all these. Uh, I don't know. Do we need, instead of this? I want to use like the. Oh no, that's kind of fine. Uh, that's okay. Can we go ahead? Uh, do we need anything else? No, I don't think so. We need one more. Yeah. So that's one more element, I guess. And then we will have one more element, which will be an, so we need to add a default prop to this. I don't know. We are even handling props. So we are not. So we'll think about the props in a while. Hold on. Attributes. Let's add some placeholder image right now. That completely works for me. Uh, Yeah, there you go. That's another picture we have added to the DOM. These are the elements which are going to be added. So same thing goes over here. So in the icon, we want to say the element which we want to add is the children is this. This is the h1 style color. I don't know. Uh, there you go. So that's the element list. And now we can go to the index dot whatever this file is, and instead of adding this something like this, what we can say is we can just pass this this, what do you say, uh, uh, we can pass the comp dot element to this. And now the problem is that it is requires a element, right? So we have to id actually. So we'll have to generate a random id, and I don't know, we can get it by, there's a library called uuid which could help us with this. I think so. Where is my terminal, bro? Where's my terminal? Why is it not appearing? Oh, it's very small right now. So we can say that yarn add uuid. That's interesting. That's an interesting library to generate unique ids if you wish, right? So we can go over here and we can say import something like v4 as uuid from uuid v4. If that doesn't, also yarn add hyphen at the rate types slash uuid, that make it happen. Is that something we don't have to do? Does that work? I guess it does. Um, we'll see if that doesn't work. So we have the UID, right? And then what we want to do is over here is we want to say we just want to expand this, and we'll say the comp dot element, and we want to say ID is UUID, right? It's just angry with me. I don't know why. So we have to construct an element. Is that what it wants? I don't think so. So let's do a little bit like add whatever, like add to whatever, like set dom state, and then we can get the prev state, and then what we can do say is we can just do this, right? And then This is much way better, right? And then instead of temp, we have done something stupid. We why did we remove that? So and then what, instead of temp we can pass this prev state to this, and yeah, and then we return prev state. Is it even modifiable? I don't know. Is this uh let's have it like this, something like, okay. So first of all we want to construct a element like with, right? So I want to construct an element with all the elements which our comp dot element had with an id which is uid. I hope so that doesn't make this angry. No, it doesn't. Now we'll be using this to set this dom. What do you mean? uh Now we can use something called immer, which is quite interesting library which can help us. So can you can say set what was the state name? It is dom state. So we can say set dom state, and then we'll say immer. It's called produce, I think, by immer. Yeah. And then produce takes two things. That's what that's it, it's called produce, right? I'm not sure. Yeah, it's called produce. So produce take two things. First of all, a DOM state, like the previous state, and it gives you a copy. So you can modify the copy however you wish. First of all, this is not required. Yeah. Uh, we can even generate this inside. That's just angry at me with me. What it says. It says types of property element is incompatible. Type string undefined is not of type string. What do you mean by string undefined? Do I have something optional or something like that? Uh, oh, so it could be undefined, right? The element could be undefined, which shouldn't be the case. I think element should always be defined, and that would fix the issue we have over here. That's cool. So that's way neat code. I mean, like that looks better for sure, and like looks eliminator interesting. Okay. Uh, yeah. If we say this, we don't have a content. Yeah, we do all those, we do add all those stuff, but we don't have a content. Okay, so we'll have to think about the content also. We have to think about the children stuff which we were doing. So first of all, we don't need this anymore, so we can get rid of this. It's kind of cool. And we want some content. So there's some content, we can even specify some content in this stuff in the config. So for the box we can say I don't know, we can have some content. We can say this is the box, right? Something like that. And we can even go to this, and then we can say content. It's only you and me, buddy. It's kind of okay, no worries. uh it's okay. It's more of like I'm enjoying coding, like I'm enjoying coding this. That's kind of important for me. The content is not important in this, I'm pretty sure. Also, we are not handling the attributes. That's this is a box. See, this works how we expect this to work. H1, we haven't handled H1, right? So there should be some content in this. So if we say some content, yep, me too, great. So what I can say is right now if I go to H1, I have some content, right? And then I can write some text after this, which is like this. I don't know why is it underlined. Do we have something like that? So first of all, let's do one more thing. Let's handle the attributes, which we are not doing, I guess. So we are only handling the styles so far, not any attributes. So let's do that. Attributes. No, it's giving me some code. It's saying so it's giving me this, which is undefined is not accessible of type this. What do you mean? So because the attribute is like is like this should fix our issue. So if I say image now, the image is definitely there. Oh, see, the image is there. We have the image. Interesting, but it is giving me error. So there's two options. It is not. I don't know. This is weird. Will this give me error in VS Code as well? I think there's some editor, like this editor is going weird. I mean, I'm already doing the null check over here, so that this is not null. The editor is going weird, so we'll leave that. See, we are able to create a website. I mean, that's good. We are at good space. Now the next thing what I want is I want the ability to modify the properties, and then we'll go to how to add stuff as a sub children, how to add stuff as a children of the stuff which is previously added. We'll discuss that in a while. But before that, let's handle the properties. Let's handle the attributes of all these things. So first of all, okay, so all these stuff, right? How do we want to do this? I'm not sure. Okay, I think we can do this. Let's go to this index dot this, and let's handle this over here. So we can give a div over here, and then we can say this, and then we can I just wanted to learn HTML. The stuff you are doing is scaring me, bro. It's easy. It's not very complex. It's easy. Don't worry. I mean, see, it's very simple. What we are doing is we are storing this in. It's not simple. I don't know. Yeah, if you start doing it and you'll keep doing it for a while, then it kind of makes sense. You're looking at like at once all these things, and that might make things a little bit weird, and that might make things a little bit confusing. So we have this div whatever, and inside this div, what we want to do is we want to say this call span 3, and then we'll say that's text whatever, like Excel is kind of good. uh I'm a freshman. Oh, you're fresher. uh then just look, enjoy, let's and see what am I making. And you can uh you might get few ideas, some idea, you might learn something, and I'm not sure about that. You might learn something, I'm pretty sure, for that part, but I'm not sure whether you'll be interested in watching that right now. So we'll say let's say whatever, like properties. That's exactly what we want to have. It is not showing anything because we have this text as like uh where the text white is, I'm not sure. It's on the full thing, but it's not visible to me at least. Oh, the property is going down, which is insane. uh Call span 3, call span 6, and then we have call span, I don't know. So we have a grid, right? We have a grid. Where do we have a grid? So we have a grid 12, and then we have a call span 3, which is this one. We have a call span 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. What do we have left? 3, right? Kind of good. That shouldn't give us the issue. Take it 2 will still give me issues. I don't know. Why is it coming down, bro? It should come over here. I mean, yeah. Why is it coming? Oh, it's in the wrong level, I guess. Yes, I think that's the issue. If I just do it over here, the issue will be solved. Yeah, the issue is solved. Even I can replace this with 3. That kind of works. Now we'll have to go a little bit. So let's call it like padding 3 or something like that. Now we want to show all the properties. So whatever we are adding or to all these things, we want to show the properties over here, and then will be giving the user an ability to basically export this, right? So export will also be an option as an HTML file. So all those will be an option. Okay, so we have the element addition. The next thing what we want to do is we want to show the properties. How are we going to do that? Not pretty sure. Also, we should not do this like this. I think we should have like a different like properties, like a React component. So we'll say React FC, and this accepts like not like that. I mean, this accepts like a properties which is which will be the array of this thing, which is what do you call it, DOM state element. And then we can say like this, and then uh yeah uh I guess the we'll get something out of that over there, and something like that. And then I can say why is it like this, hold on, properties, right? Please write something good for me. Can you write something good for me? No, it's not working. So we'll say return, let's say let's start with a div, right? And let's say this is working. It's just not happy with me. The properties declared but never used. I'll use this, hold on. So now what I can do is I can go over here, and below this I can render the properties with the properties as the DOM state. There you go. But that's not what we want. We want a sender. Oh, that's stupid. So we want the ability to select a thing, right? So yeah. So we can say collect like const selected item, right? And then we wanna say whatever this is. We don't want to do that. This is much more complex than I thought. So now what we have to do is we have to go through this iframe, inside this iframe, and handle what is selected and what is not. So we'll have to iterate actual DOM now. That's more of kind of like, that's more scary, I'll say. So yeah, so to get the active element, we have to do something like whenever you hover over any of the elements in the DOM, it kind of like it gives you some indication, and then we click it, it is the active element. So yeah. Okay, how are we gonna handle that? So for that, I guess what we can say is we can create a ref over here. We can say const frame ref, right? And I don't know, you don't need this kind of stuff over here. And then you say reuse ref, and then you can say element ref, and then you can specify the element over here. That doesn't work like that. Yeah, HTML frame element. And then what I want to have is I don't like, this is not required. Okay, so I want to go to the iframe and say a ref is this. Interesting. So I have this as ref, right? And then whenever I'm adding all of these stuff, right? So okay, Node.js React is basically a front end thing which lets you build front end UI. Node is a back end thing which lets you run your JavaScript on like on a V8 engine. Like you can use JavaScript for coding backend stuff. That's Node in short. If we could have the position of all the elements, we could code a overlay, right? That would be cool. And we do it. We do it though. Let's try to do this. Let's try to do this. What we can have is we can instead of, oh, ref is kind of cool. That's pretty okay. We could have like a element positions as well. So we can actually have a position of all the elements. So whenever you, yeah. So every DOM state will have the position of the element as well. Why am I doing this? Don't ask me. I'm just doing this. So let's create an HTML, like a separate thing which is set HTML, well, like or output or something like that. So let's say use state, and let's say this is a string, and this empty by default or something like that. Then after this, in the iframe, instead of setting this garbage as something, uh I mean, let's cut this and let's have the HTML over here. And then what we can say is we can use a use effect, right? Not this one, but use effect. And then we can say whenever the DOM changes, right? Whenever the DOM state changes, what we want to do is we want to do this instead. Now set HTML and then do this. Yeah. Oh, come on, be a little fast, bro. I mean, it's a little bit slow, like in basically realizing that this issue has been solved. Few issues in Z. Okay, so there you go. So if I click like click, all this works. So that means like this is working great. And now what we can do is we basically want the ability to, whenever you add a element, we want to reconfigure and go through the entire like DOM state, and and kind of get the element, like get the document of the iframe, and then kind of get the position of every element in the iframe, and then we can code a rectangle or a square or something like that relative to that particular element. Let's try this is going to be cool. This is complex, I get it, but yeah, this is going to be cool. So we can have a width, or like element, or let's call it DOM, right? And this will have all the DOM related stuff. It will have a X, which is this. It will have a Y. It will have a width. Will have a height. Great. So we want all of these information in order to construct the stuff. And again, this is completely optional. So this might have it. This might not have it. Great. So because yeah, and whenever you're doing this, we want to create this in the DOM function. We're gonna create this, that export const capture position, capture DOM props. That's a stupid name of the element, right? And then what we want to have is we want to have the document like that, and then we can say HTML document element. I don't know that makes sense or not. HTML element, HTML, just be body element. Yeah, that makes more sense. And then we'll yeah, and then what we can say is we can just give this this, and then give this components, uh yeah, which is the doc state element. uh exactly, we want this uh, doc state element. And then what we want to do is we want to be basically able to do a kind of like a very weird stuff. I don't know this or not correctly. So get element by id does not exist on HTML body element. What do you mean by HTML body element? uh what is the type of document dot, I don't want to do this, but I can do this. Return type of like document dot create. What is the type of this? Let's try document dot, not like that, document dot create element of like whatever, like body. What will be type of this? HTML body element, right? And then I can say element dot find element, get element by whatever, by id, right? And we can say this, that's completely uh, HTML body element. And then we can, instead of document, I can have the like the body, and then this makes more sense. Hold on. It this component. Huh. Okay, this is not something like this. So, what we want to do is, yeah, what is it even doing? I'm pretty surprised. What we want to do is we want to go to the body and we want to say find element by or get element or like children nodes, child nodes or children. Return the child element, return the children. What do you mean by children for each node? I don't want to do that. So, hmm, uh, 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 how can we do this? We'll say go to the body DOM and get the elements. First of all, this will work when we go over here and we specify an ID for this. All of these will have some sort of ID as a default property. So it will be component set I dot ID. I guess everything. This does have an ID, right? This has DOM element ID, and then this does have an ID. Great. So we have an ID. So everything has an ID, and then we can, I don't know, get bounding rect by ID and set it to the DOM property. Yeah, this is great. Okay, this is great. Okay, this is great. So now in the components, we have to recursively go and find all the IDs, and then we can get that ID and we can set the property by using the same function which is over here, add v2 dom. I hope so. That would be terrible for performance though. Query selector get. I mean, first of all, we'll have to go and extract all the IDs. So let's do that first. So let's write a function called export const extract all IDs, and this will have a components, and then can I have a function like IDs? There you go. So it kind of like extracts all the IDs for us. So what we can say is const IDs is equal to extract IDs of component, and then DOMs. What do you mean by DOMs? Then I can say, so first of all, let's get the properties from that. So we'll say for let I is equal to 0, um right, uh element dot get bounding box, but it shouldn't be document, bro. It should be body dot HTML document, right? Yeah, I can pass the document, but this is like, let's say v document, because this will confuse this with like the our local document declaration, like yeah. So we have set DOM properties, but that doesn't return this, just modifies them, right? So again, we say capture DOM props. Uh, hold on. Hmm. Hold on, I'll be back. I'll be back in 2 minutes. All of you guys who are watching, just hold on. I'll be back. Hold on, I'll be back. Just 2 minutes. Hi everyone. I'm back. I am. Hello. Yeah. So welcome. Let's continue the stream. So Hi-Fi channel. Where's your family? Why do you want to know about my family, bro? Why do you even care? Okay. Oh wait, you're asking what's your salary? Hmm. My salary is bro, I have signed an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, but it's you can buy an iPhone with my salary in 1 month. Right? That's my monthly salary. You can say something like that. That's my monthly salary. So we have this set DOM props, and then we have okay. So what we want to do, we have to actually think it out a little bit. So what we are doing is we want to build an overlay over this. Overlay will be kind of like whenever you overlay will be like whenever you hover over this, right? Or like you can select any of this. So like if you click on this, there will be a rectangle over this which will be overlaid. So it will be the React app. So whatever we are making in the React app, it will be an overlay over this, and then you can modify all the properties from the property panel. If we could go till that point today, it would be amazing. Later on there will be only one thing left, which is adding a sub children. I think if we can get the overlay right, we'll be also able to get the sub children right. If you could do that will be kind of great. I i graduated in May 2023. I'm learning web development now, and I have zero confidence, and I'm wasting days being depressed, demotivated. All my friends who know nothing seriously about job. Bro, don't be depressed. Just uh, I don't know. You guys love jobs. I'm just telling you this. If you're chasing a job, right? Uh, Probably it will be harder, right? I mean, consider, do you even like it? I mean, the technology which we are learning. So see, if you have love with the technology, if with the stuff which you are building and with the stuff which you are working with, that's kind of like the thing which you would want rather than running for a job. And then you must be thinking like, okay, then is the job not important? That's also, so that's definitely important. That's very, very crucial. But trust me, if you have I mean, focus on the input, bro. Output is not in your control. Control what is controllable, which is creating some of the best projects in your resume, applying for a lot of internships in LinkedIn regularly. So applying like to like 20, 30, 50 every day, right? Uh, taking yourself to the best version of yourself. Like that's important rather than actually focusing that, I'm not getting a job and getting demotivated. That is not going to help you. The only thing which is going to help you is changing the input, right? You cannot control the output ever. So just change the input, bro, and then you will get the output, I'm pretty sure. I'm new here. What are you trying to build? This project will do in final, bro. Have you tried Webflow or something like this? I mean, this project will help you to build a website uh, without coding. So you can drag and drop a lot of things like how I'm doing right now, and you'll be able to modify the property. So you'll be able to modify every HTML property of this, HTML5 property of this, without using any code. So that's the goal of this project. Uh, yeah, right. What are you trying to build with this project? We'll do in the final. No, I'm not sure. What do you mean by no? I mean, is that what you asked? There's only two things left. First is the overlay. Second is the sub children edition. If we can pull both of these two things off, will be good. Good. I mean, will be quite good. Any other questions? Anyone? How will you like what you guys are doing actually? What would you like me to try? So you can change any boxes place in the center, right? Yeah, you'd be able to change it anywhere, bro. You'll be able to change it anywhere. We can even code the ability to drag components around, and then you can chained, whether they're relative or they're absolute, and all those CSS properties, everything. So you can change the boxes place in center, right? Not right now, but that is one of the plans. You would be able to do it, I think, once we are 2 or 3 streams down. I mean, at least we got the approach. So I've already streamed this like in 2 different episodes, but right now finally I have an approach which I think would work. Okay, I get it. That's cool. Great. Yeah. Can you teach backend, bro? Dipesh, I have already taken a backend class, I think, on my YouTube channel, youtube.com. I mean, you want backend in what? Like, you want backend stuff like Node.js and backend frameworks like Express.js and all those things, Express.js and TypeScript. I can definitely do that. If enough of you want me to take a backend uh, like stuff, backend class, probably I can do a live stream on that. Uh, sure, we can do live. We can do backend, but not in this stream, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? We'll start coding, and then it will be hard for me to answer questions. Any other questions you guys have? Is placement series complete? No, bro. Placement series is not completed. There's a backend left. There's styling left. There is UI UX left. A lot of things left. What we did TypeScript, I guess. We did React. We did, yeah. So there's a lot of things left. We'll do Tailwind someday. We'll do like that styling. I mean Tailwind. We'll do we'll do a lot of other things. You guys have any suggestion if you feel that we should do a placement series, like we should include some technology or some other thing in the placement series, so feel free to recommend that. We'll surely do that. What I think most of you is around the age of like what, 20, 24, between 20 and 24 or 25. So all of you guys are looking for the job, and that's the case. What I feel from the questions you're asking. You guys, any one of you know about the Versal clone issue which happened recently? So you know this YouTuber called Hari. What? How long have you been coding up till now? Been 6 years, bro. Approximately 2.5 to 3 years in JavaScript. Rest in other languages. So rest in other languages like Java, I have coded a lot, like Android apps and stuff. Uh, I tried to do a capacitor video someday, but I think not a lot of you guys were interested. Yeah, a lot of you know about the Versal, right? Harkirat thing. That went pretty insane. I looked at some of the videos there. I mean, wait, hold on. I mean, if I just do like Harikirat, Versal, right? A lot of people created. The most interesting video on this was this one. Like, I mean, Piyush also, I watched this one as well, but this one was the most informative, I believed. So a lot of points which Mehul mentioned is like this makes complete sense. Uh, I mean, creating a Versal clone is not that difficult if you think directly. I mean, not applying all the edge cases and everything, but you cannot implement Vercel completely is very, very, very complex. Yeah. So, but if you think about the idea of deploying a normal React application through like a dynamic deployment of that could be achieved, but calling it Vercel would be wrong. That's the only issue. What happened with Vercel clone and Harkirat? So, bro, Santosh, for you, actually, what happened was Harkirat coded this this uh, code along I build Vercel in 4 hours, right? So he coded it in a way that it was for beginners and all, but there was a lot of security issues. There was a lot of coding issues. So the most insane thing I'll just show you. Wrote wait. So a lot of YouTubers kind of like pointed out this. Wait, hold on. This one is the one which I want. So I'll just show you a few of the stuff which I personally saw, and I was like, I mean, why is this like this? So for example, the upload service, right? If I go to this, whatever, what was that? SRC file, I think this one, right? Now, index, now, utils, file. Oh, this was aws.ts. You can see, keeping your AWS secret key and, key ID directly on the file is kind of insane. I mean, you should never do this. I mean, all of the people who will see your repository could upload to your S3. I mean, if you don't delete this stuff, don't push your secrets directly. That's one of the points. Second, he was using a lot of read file sync. That was also a very bad thing. I mean, not very bad thing, but come on, like you shouldn't use right read file sync, because if you use that, it kind of blocks the Node.js thread, and you're not able to do anything else. So you shouldn't do this. That's next point. Also, like there was some this the wait of 5 seconds. I think there was something like that. He's using a Redis, like the Redis stash, which is an advanced version of Redis. I think that's what it is called. Not sure, but he was using that in order to maintain this queues, and he's using, I think, SQS, which is simple queue service wide. Um, it's kind of the project was itself very very good idea. He's an amazing developer, but it was somewhere, I don't remember where, but there was some place where it was written set timeout 5. That was also something insane. Uh, no, load S3. A lot of coding was very weird. So that was all that was all the drama which was going on. Recently, Harkirat is into a lot of dramas for some reason. I mean that GitHub README update it happened. I think he made it keeping beginners in mind. Yeah, but still, bro. Yeah, I mean, beginners also, like, you would like few things like you cannot do, right? I mean, even if you're making it for beginners, that's what I feel. I mean, that's what my feeling is. I mean, you cannot have secrets pushed in, and you cannot have 5 seconds delay and all those things. That's like an insane stuff for even if you are talking about a beginner or anything like that. Any like what you guys would you like anybody would you guys like to connect right now? Like, would you guys like to code the stuff which I'm coding? Like, would you like to contribute to this? If yes, just tell me. What about his course? It's worth it? I haven't took the course, bro. I don't know. It might be, it might not be. Uh, but yeah, it could really well guide you, I'll say. But you can do it on your own as well, like that guiding part. If you're a little bit disciplined, like if you do a project long enough, you will be, that guidance will be there. I don't know about his course. I haven't took. I wish I were that skilled. I wish I were that skilled. What do you mean? Oh, for contribution? No, bro, it's very easy. No, it's not. So you could contribute in any way. See, I'll explain the plan which I have with this project, with this HTML builder. See, all the HTML. So the plan is very simple. See, there will be a lot of streams, but all will be unlisted. So you wouldn't be able to see the stream tomorrow in my because I'll be unlisting the stream, and then what I'll do is I'll at final, like whatever 2 or 3 iteration of stream, I'll download all the videos and I'll create a final edit where there will be a final HTML, whatever, like a website builder will have a final website builder. So I'll do that. So all these videos might be unlisted, and I'll definitely like all of you guys will be contributing this to this. I will be personally like mentioning you in the repository. I'll just push this. Okay, hold on. So let me push this to my GitHub. Website builder, git init. I think there's already there. Arikirat says that course is worst way to learn. IT gives a high pay. Hobby of top knows what. Sure, I'll push that. Yeah, I courses. I'm on the same part. I mean, see, what I believe is, see, will you eat unless you're hungry? Like, just say this, right? You'll not eat unless you're hungry, right? That's the same thing. You will not do something unless you require to do it, right? If I just start teaching you Redux right now, for example, if I start teaching you something like, some absurd technology like AWS right now, right? You wouldn't learn it because you don't need it, right? If you don't need AWS, why will you learn it? Why will you even bother to learn it? You know if you have a test tomorrow, right? You prepare very well. But if I'll say you don't have a test, just prepare, right? That's how courses are these days, right? You're just learning without any goal. And if that is the case, that's not going to be a very effective learning. That's what at least I believe. I haven't took any course in my entire life, zero courses, any course. Okay, let's push this to the GitHub. Let's go to the GitHub, I guess. First, github.com. Let's go to, do I have anything like website builder or something like that? We don't have. Okay, so we'll have to create a new one. So we'll say new repo and let's call it website builder. So all of you guys, I would uh, so all of you guys, I would love if you guys contribute to this repository. So I just want the contributions. I'll be code reviewing them live on the stream. And if you guys want a cohort, this would be coding like we are coding together, right? It will be like all of us coding together. Of course, you can contribute as little as possible if you're starting out, or you can help me to build complex stuff. So you can help me like to build the you can just revamp the UI and create a PR for that. You can you can do like all of those things. So you can do any changes if you wish. You can even I'm in a search of good logo. If you could find a good logo, replace it with that. That would be amazing. uh Anything works, right? So if you guys would do that, I would review them live on the stream, and we'll do this probably until we have a very good website builder. So this will be an open source project by us. So this is not a dummy project. Also, there's a lot of work. All of you guys who are watching, I would like to explain you all these different things which you can do with this repositories. First of all, we in the index.tsx file, right? We have everything at one place. So you guys could help me to like uh, place this in different components in different files. That would be amazing. UI could be improved a lot. I'm pretty sure you can help me with that. Also, you could help me add several you can even use some component library like using shards and I don't know how you to pronounce that. You can use that as well. Let's first push this to the what should we call it? Any name suggestion? Any name? What should we call our website builder? Sorry, what should we call our website builder? Any names? I just don't want to call it website builder. Any good name for our website builder? Any good name? Let's find any good word from this book. It's A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawkins. Let's try to and we'll name our website that. Trinity. I found a good word. Trinity. Should we keep Trinity? That's one thing. Can I find other some good word? Enigmatic. That's not what we want. Emitter. Emitter is a good name, right? What do you guys say? Should we name this Emitter? We build. That's a good name. Let's keep it we build. Yeah, we build it, right? So we build. Let's not place any descriptions right now. We'll be writing the readme right now. So I'll also guide you on like all of you guys who are very new to this. I'll be guiding you on how you can contribute. We'll do that. Okay. Ombre. I think we build was something very interesting. I found that good. So okay, we have this. So what we will do is first is we'll add this as a remote. So let's now add this. So we'll say git remote Git remote add origin, this one. Yeah, there you go. And then what we want to do is we want to say zsh. Can we do zsh private? No, we can't do that. So we have added this whatever, and let's try to add everything. Let's try to commit, and let's call it initial code. Git push, git push hyphen u origin main. Let's push it to the main. I think it wouldn't work. I know the reason actually why it didn't work. So we need to do like dot git slash config. Yeah, actually I have to copy something from the project which I have over here, which is delivery app and vim dot git slash config. We'll be coding this tomorrow, like the entire Saturday morning, or like the afternoon we'll be spending in coding this. So what we'll do is we'll just code this over here. This is something which I have to do. You don't have to do this. I mean, I have to do this because of some very weird issue. So now what do I want to do? I want to quit this. I want to go over here and I want to go to the, where do I want to go? To the our app, which is website builder. And then I want to open this git slash config. This is too bad for me. I mean, this is not the, okay. And then we just want to replace this with this. I mean, whatever this is with this. Are you constantly learning new tech? Yes, bro. I love learning new tech constantly. I mean, like, I do it often, like, too much. Don't do it as much as I do. I mean, sometimes I start learning like low level coding or something like that. Like, which is nowhere close to what my field of programming is. But I love learning new things. So now I think push it to the main. That worked. Yeah, there you go. So that's on the main. So if I refresh this, we have vbuild. Now let's make a plan for all of you guys who are here. Please say I'll be contributing. If you are planning to contribute, I'll know how many people are interested. And if you are interested, I'm giving the repo link right now. Just go and like this repo. Like, give it a star at least. Give it a star over here, right? So I'm sharing this link. Go and give it a star. So let's change the readme file. Let's change the readme file to whatever our plan is with this particular repo. We'll create this. We'll create our own this open source website builder. It's gonna be cool. So let's say readme file, and let's update the readme file right now. So we'll say we build free and open source website builder in React and TypeScript. That's what it is. So that's a stupid title. I think we should do I'll be, so just go and do give it a star. Let's see how many stars do we get right now, and I'll know how many people are actually interested. We build. So we build is an free and open source a website builder built using using React.js and TypeScript, right? So yeah, this is a very simple readme file which I have made. Of course, git add, git commit, readme updated, git config user name, git config user name, git push, git commit, git push. There you go. So we did it. So we have pushed it. Let's see how many stars do we get. We have 3 stars. So there's 3 people who is interested in coding with me. I'm explaining for all of you guys who are very new to this. So it will not be code, or there will be something called fork. Oh, here we go. So I cannot fork my own repository. So you can fork this, right? So once you fork this code will be available to you, right? If you face any issues, you can go to issues and create a issue. At least like that's not what it's you like the used for. But if you face any issues in starting up or anything, you just let me know, okay, directly. So uh, if you think you made some valuable contribution, you updated the readme file and added something valuable, you updated some code and something like that, you can go and create a pull request. You fork this and create a pull request. All of you guys know, right, how to do this. If you anybody doesn't know, just say yes, I don't know, please can you explain it to me. I'll explain it how to create a pull request to this repository. I hope all of you guys know how to do this. Like, that's my, just say yes and yes or no. All of you guys know how to create a pull request, right? On this repository, right? And probably I'll be streaming like a lot. Like, sorry for the that. So I'll be streaming a lot for like today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow, because Saturday, Sunday is holiday. I might start tomorrow. So yes, you'll be. Oh, so you want me to explain how to do it? You want me to explain how to do it, right? Okay. So it's yep, I know. Oh, all of you guys know how to do it. That's great. So we have 3 stars on the repository, and then we'll have daily contributions, I guess. So all of you guys create a PR, and we'll be doing a code review every stream in the beginning of this entire website builder stream. I have a question. Should we keep these live streams listed? Oh, let's keep it listed, right? And then at the final, when we are ready with this, I'll make all of the videos, all the live stream unlisted, and I'll download all the videos, and we'll create a final video where we have all this, like where we'll have the entire thing like in one video. Great, right? Yeah, so great. And then we have three repository. Oh, keep it listed. Okay, you want to keep it listed, sure. So in all the streams, or in all these website builder stream, will be in the beginning, we will do a code review. Hello Collins FX, what's up, how are you? So yeah, I can see 3 stars. Let's pin. Can I pin this? Cannot. Okay. So give it a star if you are actually planning to contribute. Do I have to refresh? No, it's still 3 stars. Let me give a star. We have 4 stars. Hello, hello, hello to all of you. And create a PR to this. Let's create the best, like best of the best website builders, open source website builders. Yeah. Create a sub branch, all of you guys, right? I'm just explaining you the branching semantics which you can use. So create, if that's a bug fix, like this is like bug fix slash whatever the bug fix is. For example, you have fixed the component thing, right? So you'll say component fix, like use something like this. That's how it is done in the industry. So prefix it with bug fix if it is a feature, right? If it's a full feature, right? The feature slash whatever the feature is. For example, you've added the new nav bar, so you can say new nav bar. You try to do that. And let's do one more thing. Let's try to launch this on Vercel. So Vercel, I have a lot of crap projects, so that we have a live version of this as well. So I am doing this, and let's say import. We have this void pulse, whatever this is, and let's deploy this. So we are deploying this. I think it should not take a lot of time. Yeah. So we are deploying this as well. So whatever PR you create, there will be a deployed, like there will be a deployment for that. So you can see the deployment for your PR. We are doing it. Let's see how much time does it take. Oh, it did not work. So we messed things up. Let's fix this. Let's fix this. So yarn build. So this is the problem we have. It's just DOM. So all the problems are in DOM. Weird. The first problem is we cannot use any. Let's say instead of any, let's call it object, or like I don't know, how do you do that? Key value pair. How do you say this is a key value pair? Um, let's say this would be a string, so all the attributes will be a string. So this is the first issue is sorted. Second issue is set dom props. Cannot find name set dom props. That's true. Capture dom props. I get it. So we are not even using this, so this doesn't even make sense. So let's delete this, right? And then we have this, which is, how can I fix this? Can I do like a question mark? Will that help me? No. It says argument of type k string or undefined is not. Oh, this is what it is. So we can say this or this. That would fix the issue, I guess. And then attribute is optional, so that's also an option. Okay. Mm, uh, can I say this, or like, can I say like it would? That works. Great. So this would for sure exist because this is like that. Yeah. This should fix our issue, I guess, for the production. Yeah, it did. Fixed deployment issue. We pushed it again. So we fixed the deployment issue. So now I think the stuff should restart. Will it restart again automatically, or will I have to do it? Can I go back and start this again? Can I do that? If we say import, I think it already created this one. Yeah, it is automatically created. Did. Oh, it's building this right now. Let's see. This shouldn't fail right now. I think so. At least like we have run the build. It shouldn't fail. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, please. Also, go and like the repository. Please go and like give it a star to the to the GitHub repository, because we're gonna build that stuff. I Bio X1 up. How are you? How's the Josh? Wait, oh, it says we build sigma.versal.com. I did not give the sigma stuff. There you go. We have a live URL. This is very buggy right now, but still I'll be sharing this. Deployment will be done when you accept the PR. No, there is no PR yet. But this is not. Don't test the, because we have a lot of work to do. But at least you can see this right now. We have a URL, right? Uh, yeah. So we have 4 stars so far, and all of you guys who would like to contribute. How do you know that it is right or wrong? Because we generally the deployment fails because the build doesn't go right. So I built this before only. So I run the build, yarn build, and it went fine, right? So that's how I know that it wouldn't crash while building, like while deploying. We can do some GitHub Actions tutorial now, I guess. We can write some code check and all those things, Docker deployments and all those stuff. Some automation, some DevOps shit. I can see one fork, one watching, one person already forked it. Kind of great. It's already 11:42. Probably I'll not code anymore. I'll be answering any questions, but we'll code from tomorrow morning. A lot of contribution will go. If something goes without, like, I actually stream, I'll explain it in the stream. I did, okay? So yeah. So great. Anyone any questions on the project? Anyone any questions? Please feel free to ask. Okay, so I'll be explaining the plan a little bit on like what I'm trying to do with this and what is the approach of building this. So focus a little bit, okay? what I'm trying to do is, first of all, I just, whenever you click this, right, what happens is it goes to the list of like, okay, Node.js, Express.js, which one is good? Bro, there's like, you cannot compare Node.js with Express.js. Express.js is built on top of Node.js. So Node.js is an environment in which Express.js runs. So there's no comparison. Cold gadgets. I forked it. I'm looking and trying to understand. Sure, bro. Uh, okay. So what I was telling, yeah, how does it work, right? And what is the plan? And how are we going to make it? So the plan is basically, this is an iframe right now, and this is rendering the HTML, which is converted out of an array of component which we add by clicking on this. So the first feature which is currently lacking is you cannot add a sub component. Everything is added to the root. So that's why you see everything is one below other, right? So as like, if I add like all these headings, right, everything is being added one below each other. And you must be having a question, why are you not directly rendering it as a React component? Like, you just write a map and you render this. Why I'm not doing this is because that will not be true, right? Because that will be not true HTML rendering. So whatever you see will be different from what you render, which I don't want, right? I exactly want to show the user what he will be getting after rendering. Okay, the next question, how I'm gonna select stuff and show all those things. So there will be an overlay above this entire stuff. So this entire iframe, there will be an overlay. So the iframe will be like relative, and there will be absolute rectangles placed over all of the elements. So whenever you hover over something and click, there will be an overlaid rectangle on top of that. That will indicate that it is selected, right? And once you select this, I'll fetch all the properties and will show over here. So you can modify all the properties. Like, we just need to know the ID of the element which is selected. That's all. By the way, if you're thinking that, okay, Jack, cool, but the IDs will that be duplicate and all? uh, Technically it wouldn't, because we are using this thing called UUIDs, right? uh, which kind of like helps us to get unique ID every single time. I don't know where is that editor dot, yeah, we're using this UUID, which is helping us to get a unique ID every single time. I'll try to basically add a lot of stuff tomorrow. I hope so. Yeah, if you guys have any question, feel free to ask, and otherwise we'll see what we can do next. Any questions for me? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? How many of you actually do a job right now? Like, right now you are into some job. Uh, Anyone? Gulp shit. I want to have like a code sanity check or something. So everything is in the center. No, bro, that's not how we want it. So everything would not be in the center. Like when you select this, right, you can say that the div kind of have a relative property or something like that. We see, once you have the ability to modify the style, right, we can have will will change the positioning with CSS. Student about to graduate. Okay. A student. That's good. I'm also a student, and I'm also a software developer. So yeah, I guess we'll start coding again from tomorrow morning. Tomorrow I have a leave. I'm not leave. I mean, tomorrow I have holiday on the weekend, so we'll probably code for a couple of hours tomorrow in the morning on this project. I just want to get two things ready ASAP. Which first is the properties panel, which you see on the I think, or right. I don't know. It's right on the right, and also like the sub children edition. If we can figure these two things out, it will be great. What library do you use for drag and functionality? Nothing, bro. It's all HTML5. Also, we haven't implemented a drag functionality yet, so we are not using any library yet. We are planning to use a library, but not yet. I mean, we'll not be using any library, most probably. We'll be directly code like using the HTML drag element. me, I'm working right now. I don't use tactics. Whatever you can contribute, bro. Even if you can the title, you can create a PR changing the website builder to we build. That will be also a contribution. I just want to get all of you guys to get started with open source. So this could be your first project. Will take in as much contribution. I guess. Pretty much it. We'll be concluding the stream right now. So all of you guys who have joined, thank you for watching. Can I ask a question regarding authentication? Sure. Go for it, bro. Ask anything. Ask anything. Absolutely anything. Thanks. Uh, ask anything. Any question. Works related to the project or related to ask any. Ah, I cannot see any questions. Okay, friends. So I would say bye bye. I'm closing the stream and thank you for watching. And we'll probably finish this tomorrow. Not finish this. I mean, make it something workable tomorrow. So yeah, we'll keep improving this in coming stream. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching the stream, not video. Bye bye. Have a great day. Good night. I'm glad to found someone like you and your YouTube suggestion. Have great days. Okay, that's great. That I'm glad you're happy. Bye, bye everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.